Hi, thanks for joining me in this video. This video will be discussing Express Entry Federal Skilled Worker, also known as FSW. When you're looking at submitting this type of application and you're looking at eligibility, you really have to assess your points based on age, education, language, work experience, and so forth. I know most of my clients already know this information, but one of the things that constantly comes to a surprise to them is in regards to settlement funds. For the Federal Skilled Worker application, the settlement funds is a mandatory component, unlike the Canadian Experience category. The Canadian Experience category, you do not need to prove the settlement funds. And the reason why you do need to prove the settlement funds in the FSW application, it's because it's evaluated based on work in the past, meaning you don't need a job offer to be eligible under this category. Versus for the Canadian Experience class, most people who do this type of application have worked in Canada and therefore are employable in Canada. So the settlement funds really is there to demonstrate to the officer that in case I come here as a permanent resident, I have enough funds to support myself and my family while I'm seeking employment in Canada. Again, because employment is not mandatory to file this type of application. For CEC, you've already demonstrated that you're employable because that's the entire application. It's based on Canadian work experience. So if we look at the settlement funds, it's a bit different than the funds that you need to demonstrate under the LICO requirement. Many clients confuse settlement funds based on LICO requirement. So there's an actual chart that discusses this. For example, if your family is a family of 4, that means yourself, your wife, and 2 dependent children, that makes a family of 4. The chart demonstrates that you need to demonstrate $24,733. You can demonstrate this by providing documentation such as bank account statement showing that you have direct access to these funds. It's important that pay stubs cannot be seen as such. Many individuals think, okay, but I do have a job in Canada. I've worked in Canada for 6 months and I have pay stubs to demonstrate I have income coming in. So that demonstrates that I qualify for the settlement fund. And that's not accurate. Pay stubs cannot constitute part of settlement funds. It has to be liquid cash in a bank account that you and or your spouse have direct access to. So when you provide documentation, make sure you take a screenshot of your bank statement that shows the bank account number, the name of the bank holder, which for example would be yourself or your spouse, and that it's not on hold, meaning it's not on a GIC or something that is locked in. So you need to also provide a letter from the bank on their letterhead confirming that this account does belong to you, the bank account number, as well as that these funds are readily available to you. Once you provide that, you can upload that to your Express Entry application and you can check that off your box. Again, pay stubs are not accepted. If you have any questions in regards to the FSW application or specifically settlement funds, do give us a call. Thank you, and until next time.